take you a shot just to eat.
Dad. Hello? Okay, everybody, welcome to Donna Just Being Real. The only way to be is it started. I hope everything started here. It should have started. Oh, yes. We are on here. We are. Okay, everybody. So sorry about this. All right, welcome to Don Just Being Real, the only way to be. Now we're going to get into this topic, all right? I'm not going to do all this intro stuff. I want to get to it. We're going to be talking about the topic is the missing Cal City boys, Orrin and Orson West. Okay, I'm over here echoing. All right, Orson West's adopted parents were charged for their murder. All right, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to be playing a couple of videos, so hopefully y'all can hang in here because we're going to get into this one, right? I'm going to play the conference that they had, the press conference that was yesterday. Then I'm also going to go back to an old video where I'm going to be playing that, oh gosh, hold a second. What's the old video I'm going to be playing? I'm sorry, yeah. The old video I'm going to be playing of when these monsters right here were interviewed on, I'm going to play that one. And then also I'm going to play a short video of the father, the biological father. Then I'm going to show a short video of the biological mother. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So just hang in there. We're going to get into it. But first I'm going to read this article real quick and real brief. And let me greet who's in here. Nikki, hugs and kisses to you. Welcome. Hug, kiss, and Maud on deck. Don't need a man. Stop telling me I do. Hugs and kisses. BG. Hey, beautiful. And got my Maud on deck and also co-worker, the real Jack Newtown. And Dome says listening while cooking. Ooh, what you cooking? All right. And all right. Said hi. Who else we have up in here? All right. And thank you. Don't need a man. You put the purple hearts. Okay. So now I'm gonna read this article real quick here, and then I'm gonna get into showing some videos. All right. So the Cal City boy Trezell and Jackquline West plead not guilty. All right. This article came out March 3rd, 2022. All right. Bakersfield, California, KGET, 15 months after they stood in front of their California city home begging for help finding their two young adopted sons. Terzell and Jacqueline West on Thursday pleaded not guilty to murder in the boy's death. Yeah, really. The West entered not guilty plea to two counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of willfully cruelty to a child, and falsely reporting an emergency. They were arrested Tuesday after being indicted by a grand jury. Judge Chad Louis ordered them held without bail and scheduled trial for May 23rd. But given that the defense counsel has only just been assigned, that date will likely be postponed. Interesting. All right. Trezell West is represented by Timothy Hennessy, and Jacqueline West is represented by Alexia Torres. All right. The prosecutor, Eric Smith, asked that all offense reports be sealed and a gag order issued bearing attorneys, investigators, and witnesses with publicly commenting on the evidence. Lewis granted the request to be sealed offenses reports and the motion on the gag order to be scheduled next week. All right. Now, the prosecutors have said that the boys Orrin 4 and Orson 3, oh, they was his boo-boos, this little ones, oh my gosh, were killed 3 months before that they were reported missing. Now, this is something I've said. I'm going to put the link in when I did the first live stream about this. And that's why I said, I think those kids was, they was gone a long time ago. They just decided to say something because everybody was saying in the area they never saw the kids. That was just strange. When you have kids on the block or in the house, everybody knows. Kids make a lot of noise. They happy, they cheerful, they like to play. All right, let me resume reading. All right, were killed 3 months before they were reported missing. Their bodies have not been found. Trezell West, 35, told authorities the boys were playing outside while he gathered firewood December 21st. Just before the holidays. What do I always say on my live streams? I always say that these fools always act up when it comes to the holidays, right? All right, resume reading. He said that he briefly went inside, and when he came back out, the boys had vanished. Oh, they just vanished, right? Because the boys were supposed to be inside with the mother while she was wrapping gifts, and she's like, I don't know where they at. He don't know where they at. BS. It just doesn't add up. And then plus, if I'm correct, that they have 2 other 4 of the siblings that they have 2.
They were on vacation.
Right, they said it was on vacation. Yeah, with the grandma. Now these devil helpers right here we looking at. They have two biological kids together, and if I'm correct, they have two other foster kids. So with Orrin and Orson, and then the other two foster kids. So it's like everybody's gone. Why Orrin and Orson didn't go with their grandma or vacation, whatever? See, red flag, red flag. I resume reading. Okay, Jacqueline was 32 backed up his version of the events when speaking with the media. So that's what I'm going to play with y'all, the media. Prosecutors, however, said that information received a week later led to the involvement of the Bakersfield Police Department, which eventually took over the investigation from California City Police. Dozens of searches were conducted as well as digging at sites in Bakersfield and California. These officers, everybody was out there digging and searching. Hey, Emmanuel, what's up? Yeah, everybody was out there searching and searching. It was going crazy. Why these devil helpers that we're looking at right here had everybody out there going crazy looking when they know darn well that those kids was not there and those kids was gone. You piece of crap. Resume. Okay. The West previously lived in Casa Lamont apartments in Bakerfield. I guess that's about it. Okay, that's enough reading. All right, enough is reading here. Now we're gonna get into. I'm gonna show you the first footage, and the first one I'm gonna show you is this interview that they had, and then we're gonna go down. So it's like about 4 clips I'm gonna show you. This interview I'm gonna show is about 13 minutes. So everybody just be patient, listen, and let's just look at the eyes, okay? Look at the body language. I want you to study the eyes. I want you to study the body language, and I want you to study what they're saying. You can just tell that they was completely lying. All right. First of all, a woman would be hysterical losing her kids. Why is she not hysterical, and why he's not comforting her? All she doing is rocking back and forth, back and forth. BS, BS, BS. All right. Now, everybody just give me a second. Hold, please, while I share this out. Okay. Pause music. Okay. All right. I'm going to change it this way. Okay, I'm going to get started. And I also want to say thank you, BG, because BG was the one who brought this to my attention last year. Well, the year before, whatever, the 20th. Yeah, you brought this to my attention about these little angels, because I didn't know about it, because they did not get enough exposure on the news. It wasn't. So thank God for social media and YouTubers that talked about it. And if you all have a YouTube channel, why don't you bring it to attention to your audience, please, about this? Okay, need to have more awareness. All right, let me get into this one. Oh, hugs and kisses, Nikki. Nikki on deck. Did I say hi to you, Nikki? Maybe I didn't. All right. All right, everybody. Let's get it. If I can get this volume going.
Felt so hopeless. And seeing everybody out here really looking and helping out really means a lot.
So, tell us what happened the night the kids went missing.
Okay.
From our yard.
Okay.
Blessings, Teresa.
I was gonna make a fire. It's a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house. I opened up the back gate. I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house. My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts. So
No, pause that.
They got our youngest to go outside. And
why in the hell this guy has his hands in between his armpits?
Oh, you wanna know why? I'll answer that question for you. I believe I have to answer.
Okay.
This is the reason why he's doing that. Look at the similarity. Look, you see? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, his hand is around his elbow and inner elbow. This guy literally has his hands inside his armpits. I guess he's smelling to see if he smells fresh.
No, it's just a sign of of a sociopath. See?
Oh, I know. I'm just taking shots at him.
Gotcha. Okay. Wait a minute. What am I? Resume.
play with chalk in the back patio. Do not let them go on the dirt in the backyard. We keep them close. So I was playing with chalk, and I came in the house. I saw them there. I went in the house. I came back out. I didn't see them now. I immediately went back in, asked my wife, "Did you see the boys?" She said, "No, they should be outside playing with chalk." I said, "Well, I didn't see them." So I came back outside and I started searching my backyard. I searched the whole thing. I realized that I left the gate open and I panicked, came inside the house, searched the house, me and my wife. Once that didn't pan out, I got in the van. I looked down the street, both directions. It was getting dark, getting cold, and I got in the van and I hit a bunch of corners. I went down this street. I turned my light on. I searched. I called their names. Talked to a gentleman on the street on the other side over there. He didn't see them. So then I came home and I told my wife, we need to call the cops. It's getting dark and I need help. We got to get going. So I called the cops. Cops came. First thing they did was tell us to stay in the house so they can get a hold of us. And they had us just sitting.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the people that's coming in, I know people started coming. I'm showing an old clip, and this was an interview that they did with the adopted parents. That's Satan Jr. and that's Satan's daughter right there. So they did an interview with them in front of their house. So I'm going back and I'm showing a couple of clips. Okay, make sure everybody hit the like button, please. All right, and let's get back. Let's get back.
There, we wanted to keep searching. But everybody came out in droves, and I wanted to thank you guys that night, but we couldn't go outside.
The cops told us the best are out here.
The best are out here searching, and we appreciate it. And nobody ever could tell. We could never talk to anybody, and that was the issue.
We just want to thank everybody.
We really want to thank you guys.
Please, if anybody has seen them, please call. Let somebody know.
Call the cops. Call California City Police Department. Call them and let them know what you've seen, if you see anything. Our boys, they are going to be rambunctious, okay? They are going to be here in this area. And I really would like to go in the houses, but it's not because I want to invade people's privacy. I just want to know if make sure. That's it. Because I don't. Go ahead. I'm sorry. If you got any questions.
Just look at him. Look at him. He's too calm. You just lost your kids.
We're hearing from you guys, and I can't imagine what you guys are going through. I can't even fathom it. For you guys, for people who are thinking that there's some kind of foul play involved. We just spoke to the biological mother. She says she had a conversation with you guys, and that she thinks there's some kind of foul play involved. That she thinks you guys did something.
And that's understandable.
What's your response to that?
That's understandable. I would think the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, that's exactly the point. And if we can find our babies, then guess what? That's no. And that's all I want is to find our babies. That's it. And I talked to her this morning, and I really wanted to tell her that I am completely sorry because we were entrusted with her children, and they came to us, and they became our children, and we named them, and they are our children, and so we want them back. So please, if y'all could get back on what you guys are doing, we should be able to get a hold of somebody, but they took all of our tech, so they wanted to, I guess, just rule us out, which makes sense. That's part of the investigation. So that's pretty much it.
Have you guys, you talked to the police all last night?
Yes.
So you guys willfully gave them your
Everything.
technology,
Yes.
the car.
Yes.
How did they get a search warrant? Did you
I
guys?
I
no
don't see
idea.
why they got one, but they got one.
Yeah,
we would
they
have let them
didn't
take
need
anything.
one, but
We would have let them take everything. We let them come in and search with us. We asked them to come do that.
What did they take?
Just tech. And that's it. Like our phones.
From the house, though, did they?
Oh, well, I guess, should I answer that? Or?
Answer it to us, yeah.
Okay. So, into the, okay, I guess, I don't even know.
I see Yeah, we seriously felt like we needed to be out here. We did. Uh, Again, we were told the best are out here looking already. Just to stay put, they have more questions. There was literally a cop with us the whole time in
And
there.
he had sitting down. We would ask, can we go help? They had us
He
sit
said
down.
nope.
He said, no, we got the best out there.
So
We
it's
need you
not.
guys here in case we have more questions.
I don't want you guys thinking we
don't.
didn't try. We actually
We
looked
tried.
before we called
We
the police.
yes.
And I imagine the mind-boggling part is the search for information. What happened? Where are they?
Yes.
Et cetera, et cetera.
And we're yeah.
And just so we are able to present the information correctly, at what time did you guys notice your kids went missing, and at what time were they reported missing to the police?
It's about I believe I think it was about 4:30 going on 5. It was getting dark, like I said.
5-ish.
5-ish. That's about it. That's when everything played out.
And then when did you guys call the police to report them missing?
After we searched
yeah.
a little bit around here, it was dark, so we definitely we got worried.
Would you say it was maybe within an hour, a couple hours?
No, it was within minutes of us getting finished with our search.
Okay.
It was within minutes.
What do you guys want people at home to understand about this situation? For them, even speaking about what you guys are feeling is difficult. What do you want them at home to understand about this whole situation?
We're going through it. It's difficult. I mean, everybody's making their own their own conclusions. They don't know anything. We're not sure. Like everything, we're not sure. We said what we knew, and if anybody has seen them, or anything, please call the police department.
Would you be willing to provide pictures, or do you have any?
They, I have older pictures. All my newest were on my phone.
Okay.
A lot of people are speaking of this as after the math.
That's
passed.
another red
I wanna
flag.
talk
Why you don't
about
have
the
pictures?
present tense.
That was
What
weird.
kind of boys are these? Tell us about the boys.
Very playful, very rambunctious, and they do love to wrestle. They do love to kind of get rough with each
They're
other.
kids.
They're kids. Of course, they would love to go out, but so during the pandemic, we weren't trying to go, out here, and so we stayed inside.
Yes,
we did. We searched before all the cops.
That's
That
what
was
we've been telling
that's
them.
what we were
Yeah.
saying.
What time did they come up missing?
They came missing right before it got dark. And then we called. I searched that property. I even drove around the whole, this neighborhood right here. I even talked to a gentleman on that side, one of those streets over there. I said, "Did you see some little black kids?" And
that way looking for them?
that's the way I was gonna come. But when I came back home, I decided to call the cops because it was dark. They couldn't have got away that fast.
And why did it take two people to go in the house and leave two kids out here by themselves? It should have been one parent going in and one parent right here watching the child, not two parents going in the house and leaving two little kids out here by themselves for 10 minutes.
No, they were in the backyard. And the
So
back
how
gate
did they
was
get
open.
out the backyard?
And the back gate was open, and I was getting wood
So
from
you
this
guys
lot
was
here.
being unresponsible and left the gate open, left some little kids outside with the gate open.
All right. Sorry, you guys were talking about your boys who you're, I understand. For a mother, a mother's intuition. I know you were saying, and we'll get your names after this, but you were saying how you feel like they're in this area. Do you feel the same way? And what is the intuition? What is the sense you get? What do you think happened to your boys? Do you think someone took them? Do you think they're lost? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely know they're not walking around. They're not that kind. They do not just roam around. These patches. They definitely, I think definitely would have been picked up or something.
That was my assumption.
Have they ever taken off of the yard
Nope.
before?
No,
They've never taken off?
no.
You guys are new to Cal City, right?
Yep.
How long have you guys been living here?
It's 3 months.
It's crazy because y'all say y'all came out looking for the kids and y'all got neighbors that say y'all ain't even came out looking for no kids.
The neighbors weren't out here.
We were looking.
We were looking.
I'm just saying, bro. It's crazy, bro. I got kids of my own.
Where do you live?
Them little boys that y'all raising, them is my biological family.
I understand,
I
bro.
don't leave kids outside.
And I understand.
I have
3
9
and 4
kids.
year old.
I have 9 kids.
There's
There's
outside in
no
the backyard
way
that
I'm
I was
gonna
watching.
leave my kids unattended.
3
Not
and
even
4 year old.
for a minute.
Like you sit here.
I get. We get that. We get it.
They were in the
We
backyard.
feel
You
it.
don't even look like you worried,
But
bro.
you said the
I've-
gate.
I've
so
been-
why would
I've been
okay,
going
y'all
through it
know
all
y'all
the
y'all
few
know y'all
days.
finna go inside the house, right? Y'all are foster parents, right?
No.
Okay,
we're
well,
adopted
y'all adopted
parents.
them,
Yeah,
right?
they are
Okay,
children.
shut the gate. Go in the house. Why did it take both of y'all to go in the house and leave them outside by themselves?
I understand
And
that.
y'all know the gate was
Why
open.
haven't y'all been out with the people around this neighborhood looking with the kids?
Because we already told on
said
camera.
that.
I
We already
see
told
y'all
them.
on no cameras last night. I
No.
didn't even see y'all out here praying with them people. Them people was supposed to take care of my nephew. Not this, not supposed to happen.
I understand.
Y'all was supposed to take care of my nephew.
I understand.
You
If anybody's watching at home who knows anything, or if somebody who has these kids, if they're watching, what is your message to them?
The message has always been as soon as possible, call the California City Police Department and please bring our babies home. And that's that.
That's one of the reasons why we actually didn't want to
This
do
is the reason why. Because we
bio
were
families.
under orders to stay in the house and stay because they're going to need to contact us, and we cannot.
BS under orders.
And that was the issue.
You lost your kids. There's
And
no
that was the
orders.
issue. We were under orders by the cops to stay home in the house and let the professionals look.
But you just said that they were your children. If they were your children, regardless of what somebody told you, wouldn't you want to go look for them?
Well, we have cop actually posted in the front door right
know
there.
how cold it is at night? Would you
We
not
I
think
totally
about
understand.
totally
that.
understand.
We understand.
If you guys actually have that question, you should ask the police officer.
The situation, but do you see how it seems that,
Yes.
that the kids was left unattended? You guys went in the house and then the kids disappeared. How did they disappear?
Exactly, and that's the way we try to figure out.
It doesn't make sense. How did they disappear? How did they go out? You guys had the house supervised already. And my question is, why were they the only 2 children out? Where were the rest of the kids?
The rest of the kids went with grandma.
With who?
They left. They went on vacation.
So they didn't.
No, because they're too young. We didn't. We watched them, and it turns out that happened.
How did the
All right, guys, sorry, I know,
They're older.
just really quickly before we forget, first and last name, spelling of both for both of you guys.
So, Susan, said it again.
Just first and last name,
Spelling of who or what?
or just your first and last name.
Our names.
Trezell West
Jackquline
is
West.
Trezell West.
Okay, and for you,
JACQUELINE.
I'm sorry, one more time.
JACQUELINE.
Okay, West.
Yes.
Okay, guys, we'll let you go.
All right.
Sorry about that.
This is
No.
We're going through it.
Unzip me. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, relax. Hold on. What do you have in here?
Go find out. Come on, unzip me.
I don't know what that was. Excuse me. Okay, I got rid of that one. Yeah. So that video right there was, like I said, the people just coming in here. That video was that when he was being interviewed and like the neighbors were trying to say, we don't understand why you're not out here running the streets trying to find your kids because you're a bunch of BS. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next video, okay, because it's quite a couple of clips and then we can have open dialogue about this one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just give me a second. I have to share again. Everybody make sure you hit that like and stuff. Okay. Did I lose it? Okay.
Donna, you mind if I speak while you're getting things organized, ready?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. These two, I'm gonna use nice words. Louses. We're using foster children as, now this is my opinion only. Either sex trafficking or a money racket.
I think you have a point. Straight up monsters. Okay, we're gonna go into this next clip, and this one here I'm gonna be showing is the press conference. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Oh.
Breaking into programming to bring you new developments in the gut-wrenching case of those two little California city boys reported missing more than 14 months ago. Police have now confirmed that the adoptive parents of Orrin and Orson West have been arrested and charged in their deaths. Let's take a look at what we know so far. In just a few minutes, Kern County District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer will be holding a news conference with law enforcement leaders to discuss the recent developments in this case. We're going to take a live look at the district attorney's office right now. You can see everything is set up there in that room. We are set to begin in just about 4 minutes at 10 a.m. and we are going to bring that to you live. Here's what we know so far. Trezell and Jacqueline West, the adoptive parents of the two boys, have each been indicted for 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of child cruelty, and for filing a false report of an emergency. The charges are official confirmation of the worst fears of thousands of people who've been hoping and praying for the safe return of Orrin and Orson West. Even after 14 months of intense public scrutiny, we know very little about Terzell and Jacqueline West. Public records tell us that Trezell Philip West is 35 years old and Jacqueline Gabrielle Vasquez West is 32. Prior to last night, they had no local arrest records. In the last year and 2 months, there have been dozens of searches and scores of prayer vigils, but the Wests have never been seen attending. There have been 3 social media posts by, quote, the extended West family, but none by Trezell and Jacqueline. A yearbook confirms that Trezell was a 2004 graduate of Bakersfield High School. Public records show he held a security guard license that permitted him to carry an exposed firearm from March 2013 to March 2015. The exposed firearm permit was canceled when his guard license expired in 2015. We're taking you live now again to that press conference as we await the beginning of the news conference from District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer. Again, we're expecting this news conference to discuss these charges that were filed last night against both Jacqueline and Trezell West. We're going to learn a little bit more about that this morning. Defense attorney David Torres joined us on 17 News at Sunrise to talk a little bit about the charges that the Wests are facing. Again, those are 2 charges. Those are 2 charges of second-degree murder each and 2 charges of child cruelty, in addition to a charge of filing a false report of an emergency. Torres addressed the charges of second-degree murder as opposed to first-degree.
Ads on YouTube must be so annoying, but with 3 clicks, you can install an ad blocker and you'll never see ads again.
If there was a situation where these children perhaps were either beaten on an ongoing basis or something happened where because of the action of the defendants, these children suffered as a result at the hands of their parents, then more likely than not, that could be second degree as well. The thing with child abuse, those cases are very difficult because if you do prove that particular charge, a person can serve up to life in state prison.
Again, as we said, the Wests each face 2 charges of second-degree murder, 2 charges of child cruelty, and a charge of filing a false report of an emergency. They were indicted by the Kern County grand jury yesterday. Over the course of the 14 months since they were reported missing, concerned citizens and individuals across the community and even across the country have been eager to do anything they can to help. They've pledged various rewards. People have put up billboards. In fact, the reward in total comes to well over $125,000. It's been an unorganized grassroots effort, however. There are no consistent conditions on what's required to earn the rewards. There's also no indication of how long the reward offers are valid or even if those offering the rewards are able to pay them. 17 News confirmed the California City Police Department is offering a $25,000 reward, but it's contingent on an arrest and conviction. All right, we're going to take you back out live to the district attorney's office. There is a DA Cynthia Zimmer walking up to the podium there, and we are expecting to learn a little bit more about these charges being faced by Orrin and Orson's adoptive parents, Terzell and Jackquline West.
Good morning. My name is Cynthia Zimmer. I am Kern County's district attorney. I have information about Orrin and Orson West, the two young boys who were reported missing from California City 14 months ago. On December 21st of 2020, Orrin was 4 years old and Orson was 3 years old. Their adoptive parents in California City, Trezell West and Jackquline West, reported to the California City Police Department that the boys had disappeared from their backyard. The California City Police Department began a search for the boys in the area around their home. After a period of time, the FBI joined in the search, as did the California Highway Patrol and search and rescue from the Kern County Sheriff's Department. The community also came out to assist in looking for the boys, but to no avail. They were not located. 1 week later, crucial information came to light that necessitated the involvement of the Bakersfield Police Department and the Kern County District Attorney's Office. Law enforcement worked diligently, hundreds of hours in the next 12 months, looking for the boys. This morning, I'm saddened to announce that the investigation has revealed that Orrin and Orson West are deceased. The investigation has also revealed that they died 3 months before their adoptive parents reported them missing. However, I am pleased to announce that this week, the Kern County Grand Jury indicted Trezell and Jackquline West, the adoptive parents, for the murder of Orrin and Orson West. The indictment charges 5 counts. The first count is murder, charges them both with murder, with the victim being Orrin West. The second count charges murder, with the victim being Orson West. The third count charges felony child abuse against the person of Orrin West. The fourth count charges child abuse against the person of Orson West. And the fifth count charges false report of an emergency. Naturally, the first 2 counts carry the most time in state prison, murder. It is charged as murder in the second degree. That carries 15 years to life, but with 2 victims, the potential penalty or the maximum possible penalty, if convicted, is 30 years to life for each defendant, Trezell and Jackquline West. Now, the grand jury indictment is a formal charging document, and we followed a process in charging them before the grand jury, and that was the district attorney requested that the grand jury convene to hear evidence regarding an indictment that we presented them. The district attorney's office then presented information to the grand jury, and the grand jury found there was sufficient evidence to hold Terzell and Jackquline West responsible for these murders, and they returned what was called
I
a
agree
true
with you,
bill.
Nikki.
So oftentimes we call it they were indicted, but what they did is returned a true bill on the indictment. Department 1 Superior Court judge issued warrants for the arrest of the defendants, and they were arrested last night at about 7 p.m. in Kern County. They are currently in the Kern County Jail waiting for an arraignment on the indictment, which will be tomorrow. There will be no preliminary hearing in this case because an indictment is a substitute for a preliminary hearing. In this case, will proceed directly to trial. The announcement of an indictment in this case probably raises a lot of questions about the facts of the case and what you and the public would like to know. I'm not permitted to go over the facts of the case in this case, but there is something that I'd like to discuss because the facts of the case are to be what we produce in the jury trial, because we want both the prosecution and the defense to have a fair trial in this case. However, one of the questions that I'm sure you would like to know is, have the bodies of Orrin and Orson been found? And the answer to that is no, they have not been found. However, I would like to emphasize that the fact that law enforcement have not found their bodies does not preclude a murder prosecution. As a matter of fact, there have been many hundreds of what we call no-body homicides prosecuted across the United States successfully, and even no-body homicides have resulted in murder convictions in Kern County. I'd like to introduce the people who are standing here with me today, who have been crucial in bringing this case forward. Eric Smith is a person to my right here. Eric Smith is the supervisor of the homicide unit at the DA's office. Next to him is Brian Estep, also a homicide prosecutor in the DA's office. And these two gentlemen are the people from my office who presented the evidence to the grand jury. And this grand jury hearing began 3 months ago in December of 2021. Mr. Smith, would you like to come say a few words?
On behalf of myself and, of course, Deputy District Attorney Brian Estep, I would like to thank the allied agencies who worked tirelessly throughout this investigation. That includes also the Kern Regional Crime Lab and also the DA investigators in this case. Kern County law enforcement worked together at first in an attempt to locate Orrin and Orson West. And as that continued, it turned into the investigation into the disappearance and ultimately the homicide of the two boys. The lead investigative agencies, Bakersfield Police Department, California City Police Department, they worked tirelessly throughout the course of this over a year since this occurred to follow up on leads and complete the investigation. Investigation that was continued even throughout the grand jury hearing. The indictment itself took approximately 3 months. Over 50 witnesses testified during the course of the indictment. Much of those witnesses' testimony was extremely emotional as it related to this case. But that's to be expected from a case that involves the murder of two innocent children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. To my right, to my left, are two chiefs of the lead agencies in this case that did most of the work. Bakersfield Police Chief Greg Terry and California City Police Chief John Walker. Chief Terry, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is not the outcome that we and so many had hoped and prayed for over the last year. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of Orrin and Orson who, with this news today, their worst fears have been realized. I want to express my pride and appreciation to our homicide team who invested so much personally and professionally to find the truth in this investigation. We now realize that the search for the boys began after the real tragedy had already occurred. But it is the work and diligence of the investigators, our partners, California City Police Department, the FBI, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and many, many other law enforcement agencies, community members, our own community members, and members of the public. That diligence, that refusal to give up is why we are here today. I also want to express my appreciation to our district attorney, Cindy Zimmer, for her leadership and for her commitment to the safety of our families here in Kern County, no matter how difficult the case. We also would not be here without the teamwork and support of the district attorney staff. They provided invaluable support to our investigators, a perspective and advice and counsel along the way. And again, we would not be here without that support as well. And the last thing I would say is this is not a resolution in this case. And there will not be a resolution completely in this case until these boys are brought home.
Thank you, Chief Terry. Chief Walker, would you like to address the audience?
Good morning. Thank you for being here. Let me emphasize, first and foremost, this is a tragedy, an absolute tragedy that was reported in my city, that two small boys could be killed by their parents. But I do have to say
Emmanuel.
How proud I am of my department from the second we got the call until we brought in so many resources, and we're very grateful for that. But the second we got the call, we were on scene. We began to work it and look for these kids. And we had so many agencies involved, Kern County Sheriffs, the Search and Rescue, CHP came with their helicopter to help us. But the citizens of Cal City came out in numbers to look for these kids. And then it began to grow to the outlying communities and eventually across the nation. We were getting people who were interested and they wanted to know where these kids were as well as us. And then eventually Chief Terry and the Bakersfield PD came in to help us out, and they've been instrumental to make this happen. So I want to thank all those people again for helping us to try to come to some kind of resolution with this. But again, the bottom line is we have two small boys that we believe are no longer here that are dead, and that's terrible. But again, I want to thank the District Attorney, Cindy Zimmer, for being brave and diligent to push this forward and actually bring this case to the surface. So we will push forward. We haven't given up, and we'll continue to give them any kind of help that they would need in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Walker. While the defendants in this case, Trezell and Jacqueline West, are presumed innocent, the securing of a grand jury indictment is a major step in ensuring that there will be justice for Orrin and Orson. This case has tugged at the heartstrings of people in my office and in law enforcement and
you
in
can
this
tell
community.
she is really upset
It is a
about
horrific
this.
tragedy that these precious little boys had to lose their lives. But I want to thank everyone who was involved in this case, the law enforcement officers. It must have been so difficult for them who searched for Orrin and Orson, the community members that came out and helped search, and then the community members that just continue to care about what happened to them. So if you have any questions, those are the end of my comments, but keep in mind there are ethical restraints as far as what we can talk about prior to the trial in this case.
Well, let me try. Cindy.
Thank you. I think he had his hand up first.
Thank you, District Attorney. How can we confirm that the boys had died 3 months prior to their reported disappearance? Their bodies haven't been found. Can you kind of explain how that works?
No, I cannot, but I can tell you the facts in court will show that we were able to prove that to the grand jury, that the boys have died, that they were murdered. And we did that through a combination of direct and circumstantial evidence. And the grand jury was convinced that they were dead. Thank you.
Given that you say that they died 3 months before this was reported,
and the fact that Terzell and Jacqueline lived in Bakersfield and then moved to California City. Chief Walker, do you believe, can anybody say whether Orrin and Orson were ever in California City to begin with?
Mr. Gaspar, that's a good question, and that's something we're going to answer during the trial.
Can't say more than that.
We cannot go into the facts of the case.
As far as trying a case without a body, because since I assume you don't know where the boys are. Is that
We
right?
don't know where their bodies are. That's what I said.
Okay, so you don't know where their bodies are. What will that present kind of a difficulty in trying this case without a body? Public out there has at least some that I've run into say, well, they can't try somebody without a body. How are they going to do that?
As I explained in my earlier statements, no body homicides are tried all the time. And we have evidence that was sufficient to convince the grand jury, and we have sufficient evidence that we believe will convince a jury that they are not alive. And we have evidence.
Have you tried a case here without a body before?
Yes, we have tried to successfully, at least that I know off the top of my head. I have those names, the Leonard Bryce Thomas case and the Daniel Rhodes case, successful murder convictions. And there may be more, but those are two that I can remember. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about why second-degree murder in this case rather than first?
No, I cannot. I can't really discuss the theory of liability in the case because that would involve the facts.
And then also, I'm so sorry, one more question. Can you talk a little bit about why you guys decided to go down the grand jury route and attain that rather than the average procedure?
We try, I've done over 20 grand jury indictments myself throughout my career. It is something that we commonly do on homicide cases, which involve calling live witnesses. And also sometimes we do it because there has to be a little bit of starting and stopping regarding scheduling. A preliminary hearing is continuous. You don't have start and stops. And at a grand jury hearing, you can do 2 days of testimony 1 week, 1 day, so there are a variety of reasons that we considered in this case. And a lot of, if you look back on some of our high profile homicide cases, most of them did go to grand jury. Yes.
We have unconfirmed reports that a white RV was pulled over by law enforcement yesterday at Highway 43 and Highway 58. And some were saying this was possibly where Trezell and Jacqueline were taken into custody. Are you able to confirm that? And also near Potomac Avenue, the neighborhood where Trezell and Jacqueline have been living with his parents after they moved back from California City, there was a helicopter with a searchlight going over around, I want to say 7, 8 o'clock last night. Can you confirm that that was looking for Trezell and Jacqueline?
The defendants, Trezell and Jackquline West, were taken into custody last night around 7 p.m. by the Bakersfield Police Department in western Kern County.
How did that happen? How did you find out that the Winnebago that was there? We had spotted it earlier in the day in Edison, and then it was the same Winnebago that you guys found yesterday. How can you say what tipped you off that the Winnebago was there at Enos Lane and Highway 58?
No. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
What does this say about the vetting and background process for adopting parents here in Kern County?
Ma'am, it's not the job of the district attorney to talk about those types of things. It's the job of the district attorney to look and see if a crime was committed and bring those guilty parties to justice. Yes.
Are the defendants cooperating and have they admitted
Exactly,
to any
Teresa.
wrongdoing?
I can't discuss. That is absolutely prohibited. Any type of statements by the ethical canons that attorneys are required to follow. I won't comment on the evidence specifically. I won't comment on statements. Yes.
Are these the only arrests that are going to be taking place in this case? Is there plans to bring in anybody else or to arrest anybody else involved in this?
If I had those plans, I probably wouldn't tell you, but I can't tell you anyway. It's a good question. I don't mean to be trite, but I'm not going to comment on that. Yes.
Sorry, I do
Go
have
ahead.
one more. We do know that Orson and Orrin were 2 of 4 adopted kids. They also had another 2 biological kids. Any idea of the whereabouts of the other 2 adopted kids and the biological kids as well? And were there any signs or prior signs of prior abuse in the household with the other 4 kids?
I'm not able to discuss that, but it's not like the other 4 are missing. They are in the care and custody of the Child Protective Services. Yes.
Were Trezell and Jacqueline West under surveillance for a considerable amount of time before you made an arrest?
I cannot answer that. I mean, I know, but I shouldn't be answering that. Yes.
Have you spoken to the biological parents of Orrin and Orson since you learned of this news? And if so, what was their reaction to this finding?
Well, Mr. Smith has had contact with some of the biological family in this case, and I would have to defer to him about that. Our office, grand jury proceedings are secret. They are confidential. They are not to be revealed until after an arrest is made in this case, and in any case. So we will, now that there has been an arrest made, we'll be able to talk to the family of the victims more so. But even before that, we weren't able to really go into detail with them, although I can tell you we have had contact with the family.
Was it a unanimous vote with the grand jury to bring forth the indictment?
I don't think that's something that can ever be revealed. I think that's confidential information in the hands of the grand jury. I can tell you that there was sufficient number to do it, or it wouldn't have been a valid indictment. But whether it was unanimous or not unanimous, I don't know, because they don't tell us.
Can you say which legal counsel will represent the suspects?
They will be arraigned tomorrow in court, and if they cannot afford counsel, they will be appointed, or if they want to retain counsel, they can do that. So we don't know. We won't know in the criminal matter who their attorneys will be until tomorrow morning.
How do you guys plan to bring this news to the biological family? Obviously, you know, we're saying you guys have given confirmation that both boys are diseased as well, but there's no concrete evidence showing this. It sort of feels what's been going on for almost the past year, where the family and the community has sort of been left without any answers. And that constant question has been brought up, you know, where are the boys? And I mean, you're saying there's concrete or, you know, confirmation that they are diseased, but how would you guys?
It's called a jury trial, sir. That's where we will prove that they are deceased. And we have, and the grand jury has already found that they are deceased, and we have presented evidence that. As far as the news that went to the biological family, I think the news did that last night. I think you were out at the scene with the biological family before we were even had the defendants in custody or had an opportunity to do this press statement today. So as far as news to the family, I think that I think they already know. Yes. And just a couple more questions, please.
Could you talk a little bit about the sentencing for the other 2 charges, the willful cruelty to the child? What's kind of the average for that as well?
Well, what that term carries is 6 years. Correct, Mr. Smith? 6 years.
And would that be changed because there's 2 counts of that, or for each of them?
That's kind of a complicated sentencing question. You look to see if the conduct supporting the homicide charge, and you take what's called it's a determining sentencing, whether or not you get any more time on the child abuse cases counts if they're convicted on the murder. Kind of depends on the facts and circumstances.
Okay.
I have a question for Chief John Walker. You did submit your resignation recently to the department to resign as chief of the California City Police Department. Can you give us a reason, you know, why you decided to resign from the department, your plans, or so forth?
I think that really has no bearing on this. So, you know, I'd like to stick to the subject, but yes, it's I've been there for 2 years. I've done my best, and it's time for me to move on.
Are there any more questions? One last question. Yes?
I know you can't say how the boys were murdered. I understand that. Can you say if you believe you know how it happened, though?
No, I can't say anything like that. We are prohibited from going into the facts of the case. And obviously, we know what the facts of the case are. I can't go into anything further than that. And we just invite you to cover the trial in which the facts will be produced. So thank you very much. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for your excellent questions. I hope I was able to answer them to the extent that I could. You all have a very nice day.
And you've been listening to a news conference by District Attorney.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies. Oh, you be able to? Okay, go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. Let me breathe on this one for a second before I say something crazy.
Uh-oh.
I personally believe, and let me turn the mute. Let me turn. Okay, right there. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have 3 more videos on the show, but I want Jack to talk
I'll
about
make it quick because
Okay.
I don't want to drag anyone here.
Oh, go ahead. Talk.
The press conference. They waited 3 months before they reported the kids missing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. If their complexion was the color of vanilla, that they would have reported those kids missing in less than 12 minutes. It'd be Amber Alert already. But I waited 3 months later for these kids missing. And you got some questionable individuals. They're maybe in on it. I think this is 2 things: a money grab, because when people take in kids, they get paid by the government. Now, there are adoptive parents who do good by the children, and there are those who just get the kids because of the money they'll get from the government. And I personally believe the second motivation is possibly sex trafficking of these children, particularly. And I'm just going to be honest, since you give them platform. Particularly, you have Vanilla Johns that particularly like little chocolate boys. That's been known for years. Actually, the founder and creator of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, had a thing for those type of boys back in New Orleans. Not gonna go deep into that, but people can look at do the back search of that. To me, it's a money grab. And I don't know why the biological family could not adopt them unless there were some red flags associated with the biological family. And Child Protective Services' job is not to protect the children. Their job is to facilitate what you call capital. And they tend to make money off of children. And trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business. And these 2 boys, I personally believe, were trafficked for whatever purposes, organs. It could be organ trafficking, child slave labor, sex. Any of those 3. These young boys could be in traffic for. And I believe those kids were already gone before they reported them missing. I believe they was already sold. Because think about it. The other children were sent on a so-called vacation. And then the parents, so-called adopted parents, were only left with 2 of these kids. Dom said they may be in India. Yeah, they could be in hell. They could be in Saudi Arabia for all we know. I mean, they could be in Cambodia or Thailand or South America. Probably down past the Central American border, if they were trafficked, of course. and they make a lot of money off this. This is a multi-million-dollar business. Child sex trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business. Child slave labor still exists. Organ harvesting still exists. And yes, there are certain police departments that are involved in facilitating that. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is a total gang unit, pretty much. It's a gang sheriff office, pretty much. That's the facts. You can look it up. And it's just a lots of corruption that's associated with this. And look, these two, they're just the face of this. There were other enablers who helped them make this possible with those two young boys. Just like with R. Kelly. R. Kelly didn't do all the sex thing by himself. Of course not. No. He had help. He had enablers helping him facilitate these type of activities to be under the radar. That's all I gotta say.
Wow, you broke it down. What a shame. I'll share my thoughts at the end. The next clip I'm getting ready to show you, and thank you so much, Jack. The next clip I'm getting ready to show you, I'm going to show you the biological father. What does he have to say about this? Okay. I got a lot to say about the biological father, and I got a lot to say about the biological mother. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just give me a second so I can share the screen. All right, that's the biological father. We're going to get into him. Okay. Now we're going to get into the biological father. I'm going to show a clip on this. This is like a 2-minute clip, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
And tonight with a story you'll only see here on 17 News. The biological father of brothers
Orson and Orrin West is talking publicly for the first time since the boys were reported missing 10 months ago by their adoptive parents in California City. 17's Christian Galeno has more.
Another month and still no answers as to the whereabouts of Orson and Orrin West. But the boys' biological family is still holding out hope they'll be found safe.
So I don't want my kids to be deceased. I want them to come back home because my kids is all I got. After my parents go, it's just me and my kids.
Charles Pettis is the biological father of Orrin and Orson, whose birth names were Classic and Sincere. The boys were removed from their biological mother's home by Child Protective Services and adopted by Trezell and Jacqueline West in September of 2020.
I was going through family members' phones and they were showing it and we watched the news and that's how we found out. We didn't even know that they sent them out to some different people.
The West reported Orrin and Orson missing from their California City home 3 months later on December 21st. Since then, the boys' biological family has held monthly prayer vigils and conducted their own searches, but no sign of the boys. The Bakersfield Police Department, which took over the investigation 7 months ago, insists it's not a cold case.
I want no one to think that it's a cold case because when you get up, when it get quiet, it's like nobody think about them no more. But we're gonna keep going until I'm gonna keep going till God called me home, or I just can't, So I'm here to the end.
Pettis, who lost another child in an accident, he's remaining hopeful he will see his sons again.
Because they took my family, they took my life away from me. My kids is my life. No matter how long it take, how hard it's gonna be, I won't give up. I will never give up.
In Bakersfield, Christian Galeno, 17 News.
Well, it's weird. He talks about I'll never give it up. I'll never give it up. Rah. Dude, you lost the kids because you was doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looked like he just got out of the rehab and relapsed.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a picture of a Dusty. Okay. And we're going to get into the dust step, but we're focusing on the Dusty. That's the picture of a Dusty. Okay. You say your kids are your life, right? As you said, sir. Then why are your kids not with you? Okay. The kids, if I'm correct, I know they do this in New York. Every state is different. But what they do in New York is they don't want to put kids in foster homes. They want to put kids with a family member. So if someone can't take care of them, they're going to go to a sibling, they're going to go to a grandparent, or they're going to go to the father. So if these are kids, your life that you said, right? Then why the kids wasn't with you, sir? If she didn't want to take it, why they couldn't go to you? Must be something wrong with you, Dusty. Okay? Or why couldn't go to the grandparents? Doesn't make sense. Because usually it starts off with foster care. And they won't let your kids go to be adopted unless there must be something wrong with you two as parents. So you preaching all this blah, 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 blah. These kids is my life. I'm so sorry. I just don't agree with that, what he says. All my thoughts and opinions. Okay, now we're going to get into the next video. We're going to begin into the Dustette. That's the biological mother. Okay, so let's get into the Dustette. Let me put the picture of the Dustette. Now, this is the Dustette right here. This is we're going to get into. Hold a second. Let me share the screen. Oh, can't fool Donna like this. Nope, sorry. Just not working.
Thank you for joining us tonight for 23 BC News at 11. I'm Mel.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, give me a second here so I can share this. Oh, where are you? Nope. For
I'll have more respect for him if he owned up to everything and said, "Hey, look, I fouled up, I messed up, and
Great point.
I was a bad father. I was terrible. It should have never happened. I'm gonna have to live with regret for the rest of my life." Then I said, "Okay, maybe we should have a little sympathy for him, but not in this case."
No, sorry. When I saw that clip, no, didn't. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get into the Dustette. This is the little angel's biological mother. Okay, and another thing I have to say is they don't take kids away from mothers. You got to be really something for you to take the kids away from the mother. So I'll just share the rest of my thoughts at the end because I have so many clips here. Well, I think I got 2 more after this. Y'all just hang in there. Okay. Let's get it.
Thank you for joining us tonight for 23 BC News at 11. I'm Alex Bell in for Jessica Harrington. And the search continues for 2 toddlers from California City who were reported missing on Monday night. And now the FBI is involved in the search as well as the Kern County Sheriff's Office. 3 and 4-year-olds Orrin and Orson West, who are on your screen right now, they were reported missing around 5 p.m. yesterday. A search warrant was served at their foster parents' house today in Cal City, and the foster parents are still at police headquarters as of Tuesday answering questions. Cal City police say that the parents are being cooperative and that law enforcement is not giving up on finding the toddlers. Police also say investigators are doing forensics exams on items taken out of the home today, and a search team that gathered by the house today spent hours looking for both of the boys, and the community is scared, confused, and angry, and so is the biological mother of both boys.
They've been missing since 5 p.m. yesterday, which is, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Excuse me, ma'am. I don't understand you.
Dean says that imagining her boys are gone is a nightmare. She says that she misses them every day and is heartbroken that she isn't involved in their lives. Dean hopes that her children are okay and that she will be able to see them again.
If they find my kids, can they just give them back to me? Whatever I have to do to work on it.
Where's the violins? Where's the violins?
I have a home, I have a car, I have a job.
She's struggling to cry. What's the tears?
I have money. It's nothing to provide for them. I come from a good background, as you can see. And I don't understand. I just want my babies. If they find them, just give them back to me.
Here's the question, Donna.
That's all I want.
If she came from a good background, then how did she lose the kids?
Yeah, I don't understand. Help me understand this, Jack, because she's sitting there. She says she has all of this. Why the kid's not with her? And if I'm correct, Jack, she has other kids that's with her. So I guess these boys wasn't important enough to keep. You said you got a home, you got a job, you got this, all right?
I mean, it was alleged that the children were abused before they got taken away, allegedly.
Yeah, they did say something about with abuse. I don't remember the whole story. That's why I didn't want to discuss that, the whole story. But the whole point is why the kids are not with you. You say you have all of this, you well together, the kids will be with you. They don't take kids away. Even if you only have 2 pennies in your pocket. There's services out here that will give you a shelter, they will give you money, and they will give you food to keep those kids with the biological parents before they put you in foster care. And look at her crying. I don't see a tear. Do y'all see it? Correct me. I'll stand to be corrected. I don't see her.
Unless it's digitally imaged.
Yeah, right. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, I'll resume. Let's listen to the rest of this. Put up some violins. Oh gosh, this is pathetic. Pathetic. These children wasn't wanted from the day they was born.
If they just find them, I just want my kids back to me.
23 ABC did speak to
Whatever
the
they want me
biological
to
father
do,
of the 2
I'll
missing
do it.
toddlers who declined
Again.
interviews and wished to keep their names private. If you have any information regarding this
okay,
case, call
okay.
Cal City Police at 760-373-8606.
Okay, there's your violins.
Oh, you did. Thank you, Jack. Yes, she needs some violins. They're full of crap. I'm sorry. I just don't have no sympathy. Okay? So if anybody's upset with me, go ahead. Unsubscribe. Leave. I don't care. Okay? And don't need man, you have a great point over there, what you said. Okay. We got another clip. Jack, you have something to say before I get to the next clip?
I don't know. She says she's come from a good background. Obviously,
Yeah,
she
right?
what you mean? What you mean by good background? Is a good background means that you've been sober for 2 days? Is that a good background?
Jack going
That you've been clean in the last 12 hours? Is that a good background? Or that the house is clean and everything's picked up? Is that a good background?
What a shame. Okay, I'm going to show another clip, but I'm not going to play this whole thing. I just want you to get an idea of the officer, the chief, what's his name? Chief Walker, who's, was on this case and everything. So I'm going to play a little bit of his video and we'll go from there. And then I think I have one more. Yeah, the latest. Yeah, the latest. And then something else. Oh gosh, just everybody just hanging in. Okay, this is important. All right, let me share. Oops, I made a mistake. Okay, we're going to get into his clip. This is who I want to focus on next. We're going to hear a little bit about him. Chief Walker. His name is Chief Walker. Oh, you did? There we go, Chief Walker. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit of this clip of Chief Walker. I think this was about a week after the children was missing, something like that. But just listen to it. You get the gist of it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
Jon, no H.
What do we got today, Chief?
I can only give you a recap of what we've been doing since the 21st of December. Just to give you a recap, as you all know, the 21st of December, we got a call to this location about 5:45 p.m. We were notified that there was 2 missing children, Orrin and Orson, both 4 and 3 years old. There was an extensive search in the neighborhood, which produced nothing. We've done several interviews since then. We've had several agencies involved. We've been working nonstop on this thing since the 21st of December till today. As we're still working, we've been working around the clock. We have several agencies involved, like I said, and we're doing our best to locate the kids. So that's all we've got at this time. There are things in the works, but I don't want to taint or compromise the investigation at this time.
How many agencies are working with you on this case?
I would say at this time 4.
We've noticed Bakersfield Police Department crew, cars up here as well, and I understand they've taken some video from some neighbors' homes. How much are they involved in this investigation?
At this point, just peripheral. They're helping us out.
And the FBI?
The same.
Okay. It's been more than a week now since the boys disappeared. It's cold up here. This is desert. In your gut, do you feel these boys are still alive?
I can't comment on that, whether I think they're alive or not. I do suspect foul play. We haven't been able to put together, how the boys got out of the yard or where they've gone.
Chief,
but we're doing our
Attorney
best.
General's website, they have the 2 boys missing.
Yes, sir.
listed. On Orrin West, they've got it listed him as a
Fractured leg.
a fractured lower left leg as a identifying mark, and that's on Orrin West, listed as a fractured lower left leg. Were you aware about that?
No.
Do you believe, any reason to believe that these 2 boys may have been physically abused by their adoptive parents?
I can't rule that out, but I can't comment on that either.
Okay, but there was no knowledge that before that Orrin West had a fractured lower left
Not to
leg?
my knowledge, no.
Okay, well, knowing that, what does that tell you, if anything?
I can't comment on that either. I mean, that, fractured leg can happen, especially with small children, any way possible. I mean, they fall down a lot. So,
And
but
why
I
do you
can't.
suspect foul play in this case?
We have no way of knowing how they got out of the yard. Nothing that shows how they got out of the yard, and if they wandered out of the yard, we don't know.
What message do you have for the community about, how committed they've been to trying to find these 2 boys and how to maintain, how to stay resolute during this time when we still don't know much of anything?
We absolutely appreciate everything from the community. I don't know if you know that first night, there was literally hundreds of people out here looking.
What's up, Dome? You said you was confused. What are you confused about? I want to make sure you get everything right into the comments, Dome. All right, I'll go back.
Looking for them, and we truly appreciate that. I think this whole community is invested in this thing. My department is invested in this thing to the point where, we don't want to give up. We want to locate them any way we possibly can. We're accepting any information that you could possibly give us, any tips. We're following up on everything.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Note, we've had people ask, should they still look for the boys? It's cold. People have been looking in the night. Should the community still look
I would
for
never
the boys?
tell anybody to stop, but if they have anything that they could give us, we'll definitely take it. We'll definitely.
Where are the parents at this time?
I don't know. I know that I don't know exactly where they are. No.
Did police advise them to get out of the house or because
No.
there was a search warrant?
No.
I agree with you, Emmanuel.
No.
So if you guys needed to contact the parents, do you guys have the availability to do that? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are the parents named suspects in this case?
Not at this time.
Chief, as you know,
There are no named suspects at this time.
while it's possible that the boys could have been picked up by a complete stranger,
Absolutely.
isn't it true that in these types of cases, the majority of times, some family member or somebody known to the family is involved in abducting children?
In my experience, it's been very common. Yes.
That it's usually a family member.
It could be. Yes.
Do you have any of the other 4 kids in custody right now? Are they in police custody?
Oh, the other 4 kids are in protective custody right now. Yes.
And have you questioned them at all?
I can't comment on that right now.
Do you know how old they are? Could you tell us
I don't want to comment on that either.
average age?
Just going back to the day these kids were reported missing, just to confirm, that was Monday night, correct?
Monday night,
And-
21st of December.
And who reported them missing?
Parents.
Okay. You guys mentioned that there was a lot of folks left from the backyard. We noticed a lot of tools were used in the backyard. Can you talk about some of the work, what you guys were trying to reveal back there?
We're just trying to dig up anything, any clues that we can possibly find to find out where they had gone, and also to confirm that they're not in the backyard.
How extensive was the digging in the backyard?
Fairly extensive.
anything useful turn up?
No.
What message do you have for anyone? I feel like someone out there knows something that more that might help you guys move forward in this. What message do you have for someone who knows
I definitely believe people know. Someone knows. And I would hope that person would come forward. I mean, we got two young, I mean, in my opinion, babies that we don't know where they're at and we can't find them. So if that person or any of those people have any idea where these kids are or can give us any information that we could follow up, it would be truly appreciated.
It's been over a week. At what point does this become a cold case? Is there still a lot that needs to be?
Oh yeah, it's not even close to becoming a cold case. It's an active investigation. It's going on right now as we speak. I guarantee you.
What are the steps moving forward for your guys and the other agencies involved?
Just to continue to evaluate all the evidence involved and interview anybody that we think is a person of interest and gather as much intel as we possibly can until we come to a conclusion.
Do you think you're going to go back in the house at any point? You have that search warrant still, right?
It's absolutely possible, yes.
What about the biological parents in Bakersfield? Have they been cooperative in this investigation?
For the most part, yes. Yes.
California City has the third largest land area in the entire state.
That
There's
is
a
correct.
lot of ground to cover, sprawling desert. Have you guys started combing through the desert yet?
No, we have no reason unless we have any other tips that they could possibly be out in the desert. It's been my experience, especially with small children, you always start from the inside out. You start from where were they seen last? And if we feel that we have enough information and enough evidence to expand out, we absolutely will. But at this point, we have no reason to believe that.
The adoptive father told us that, he wished he could go to every house, knock on the door, see if their kids are inside. From a law enforcement perspective, when you say you want to start from where the kids were last seen, how many neighbors have you guys contacted here? And is it difficult to be able to search inside anywhere like that?
But we've contacted just about everybody in this neighborhood. And, we've talked to everybody in the neighborhood. Just our goal is to basically look at the kids. So if I come to your door and I knock on, hey, have you seen these kids? And then we move to the next and we move to the next and move to the next. Unless we have any other information that leads us to the point where we can actually enter their home and look for a child, we can't do that.
So it'll be accurate to say, and I apologize if I'm reiterating this, from every neighbor you guys spoke to, not a single sight of them.
No.
When was the most recent that a neighbor cited they've seen the kids?
We none of the neighbors have seen the kids.
Ever?
No.
You're under arrest. Not too sure about that.
At what point do you guys decide to bring out dogs to try to help out in this investigation?
Done that. It's been done multiple times.
And the canines consistently found that the scent of the children did not leave the house?
Correct.
Just to break that down a little bit, piggybacking off of Perla's thing, when you guys use dogs to search for missing people, if their scent was just even a bit outside of the home, would they actually follow that scent?
Generally, yes. But it all depends on the dog as well. It could be the wind blowing. It could be the dog can't pick up the scent. It could be a lot of things going on. But that's the general idea. That's the hope.
Could you explain how police were able to get a warrant inside the house and retain custody over the rest of the 4 kids? Even 2 of them are biological.
Oh, that's the fact that the kids are missing. That's the easy part. Obtaining the warrant was easy. I mean, we do every warrant search.
You're allowed enough evidence is the kids were missing and you were able
That
to
is
get
correct.
custody
When you have
over the other 4.
correct.
Chief, could you clarify though why the kids were put in protective custody from the parents here?
Anytime anything happens in a household where it involves any kids, all the kids are taken out of the household.
Now we've noticed DPD here in California City, we've noticed FBI, and we've noticed that several cars have been parked, law enforcement, undercover vehicles have been parked near here around several streets. Why is that? Can you explain anything?
Oh, we definitely we want to keep an eye on the area. And again, if we ever get any evidence the kids could be anywhere in this neighborhood, and also just to keep an eye on the house and see who comes and goes.
Has there been a human trafficking issue in Cal City or recent cases?
Not that I'm aware of.
And sorry, I just want to Go ahead, Perla.
Did the luminol find anything?
Not that I know of.
I just want to piggyback off of a recent question here. When you say whenever there's a situation involving kids, the other children go into protective custody.
Normally, yes.
Well, from my understanding, we have a lot of missing, persons cases in Bakersfield, and when a parent reports their child missing, the other kids aren't taken away from them. So what circumstances have to be in play in order for the other children of the household to be in protective custody rather than the custody of their parents?
Well, generally, if there's any kind of a juvenile situation where there's been any kind of neglect or any kind of harm to any of the children, we automatically have to take all the other kids out of the house until there's an investigation done by Child Protective Services.
You're saying that based off of that there have been other types of abuses.
No, I'm not saying there was abuse at all. I'm saying the kids are missing, and we can't put that together. So until we determine one way or the other what happened to the children, the other 4 children are taken out of the home. Now the parents can try to go to Children's Services and get the children back, but that's totally up to Children's Services.
Chief, if somebody wants to come forward with information that they're afraid to come forward publicly, how can they do so anonymously and contact you?
They can call our station, leave a number, leave information, whatever they want to do, and we'll get back to them.
You guys trace a phone number? I mean, if somebody really says, "Look, I don't want to get involved, but here's information you should know," is there any way they can contact you with being totally anonymous?
Call the station. That's all I can say. That's all I'd hope.
Where else are police and agencies searching? Or where are they currently searching? Or do they believe that they're still?
I can't comment on that right now.
Can you say if you're searching in Bakersfield?
I can't comment on that right now.
Real quick, how about words for the community? Because obviously there are a lot of signs out on the main roadway that are asking where are these boys at.
Of course.
So what are your words to the people that are asking that same question and asking these same questions that we are asking you?
Well, my answer to that is that's my question as well. I want to find these kids as much as anybody else. And so whatever information and we're actively at it. I mean, around the clock. We haven't given up on this thing. We want to keep on it as diligently as we can, because we know the clock's ticking and we really need to find them. So my answer to those people would be, I want to find them as bad as you do. And if you have any information, please come forward and give it to us and we'll follow up.
Chief, you're not a very large police department. You're a small police department.
We're very small.
City. How is this case? What impact has it had on your resources?
Huge. I got people that are on their days off coming in. I got people that are supposed to be working days that, I was putting 19, 20 hours in last week myself. So my guys, they're working tirelessly on this thing.
See how these liars cost
because
people
they
money,
want to find these kids as bad as everyone else.
Do you have any reason to believe that the kids are still inside the house?
No.
Even though the canines didn't smell their scent?
No, and I've been in the house multiple times.
And Mr. Walker, just talking about the
good question, Nicole.
Helping out. Part of it is because to help with manpower, correct?
Correct.
If you could talk about general assignments, the FBI, what aspect of it are they looking at? What aspect is KCSO looking at? Do you guys have those kind of designations on who does what?
Well, basically, all those bigger agencies, they have all the other resources like the crime labs and that sort of thing. So they're really helping us out with that, analyzing any evidence we have and any clues that we can come up with. So that's a real big help for us.
Para Telemundo, ¿gusta decir algo en español? Lo que sea, nada más para la gente que esté escuchando, porque hay gente hispana que vive aquí en California City.
Sí.
¿Qué mensaje le tiene usted a la persona, a la comunidad hispana, para ayudar a encontrar a estos dos niños?
My Spanish is really bad, but yo quiero mucho ayudar, por favor. Dígame, por favor. Llámame, por favor.
Para encontrar a los niños.
Sí, por favor.
¿Piensa usted que los niños están vivos? ¿Piensa usted, do you believe the kids are still alive?
I want to believe that, yes.
Gracias.
Thank you very much.
A lot of people have been wondering about what constitutes an Amber Alert and why one
Generally,
wasn't sent out.
An Amber Alert, the way I understand it, to the best of my knowledge and my experience, would be if we have a known person who has taken the child, and we have a vehicle information about that vehicle. So we put that out for all the drivers and all the commuters to be on the lookout for that vehicle and that license plate number. So in fact, we can recover the child. We don't have any of that information at this time.
I also want to confirm one thing just to make sure we're putting out the most accurate info. You said that since this couple has been here, that there was never a sighting of the children?
Not that we know of. They've only been here since September.
Okay. Was there a sighting of the parents' other children?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
No.
Can we ask a question as a community? What do
Sure.
you want us to do? Because I heard you say you guys aren't going to go to the desert. Do you want us to be?
If whatever you feel that you want to do in that aspect is more than it's welcome. Whatever, I'm not going to close any doors. Whatever's open, I'm willing to take. And if you can come up with any clues, any information that we can follow up on, we most happily will.
Okay, thank you. We just wanted, because we heard you say earlier, you guys weren't going out there, but there's so many of us still willing to.
And that's fine.
We know it's vast. We know
Right.
you guys only have a certain number of people.
Right,
So
and
we're still willing to help.
Yes, ma'am, and I appreciate it. But our resources, we have to concentrate on where we saw them last. And if something leads us to expand our search, we absolutely will.
Thank you.
And I'm
asked about the parents' van.
I'm sorry.
Somebody yesterday informed me they spotted a vehicle that looked identical to the parents' van coming back from the direction of Silver Saddle on Sunday, the day before the boys were reported missing.
I can tell you that's not possible.
I heard the same thing.
Let me dispel that right now. That's not possible.
Are there any other rumors?
Can you
Yes.
say it again, Chief? What's not possible again?
That the van was seen somewhere on their civil shadow yesterday.
No, it was seen the Sunday before they were reported.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we can follow up on that. Sure.
Yeah, we reported
Thanks.
it and never heard back.
Okay.
So
Well,
you think we should comb the desert, like go out like in.
This is Frank installing a smart meter.
In the same direction and look for those kids?
Sure, that's a possibility.
I think that's a good possibility.
But right now we're not going to spend the resources on that right now.
Now, Donna, is this
Chief, there's obviously a lot of
after they
information out
arrested
there.
the
Are there any-
parents or before?
I keep forgetting I had it on mute because you have to put it on mute so it won't be echoing. Okay. This is before when when he was just first missing. And they was missing, I think it was about a couple of days, a week or something. So this was the officer that was on it, and he was talking about, about trying to find blah, blah. So that's why I know I'm doing like different videos so we can go back to the past of everything that, well, let me share my thoughts. Let me resume. We almost done with it.
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen.
Any main rumors that you want people to just stop spreading? Is there anything else you could dispel?
Main rumors are rumors that the people are going to say what they're going to say. But just so they know that we haven't given up on this thing and we are working still diligently to try to find these kids.
And I'm being asked to ask this question as well. In the last decade, there have been several unsolved either missing persons cases or homicide cases. As a police chief, what trend have you noticed here that contributes to that? What do people have to think about when they say,
Well, I need you to be more specific. What are you referring to?
Well, we did a story with the police chief at the time, Mr. Hurtado,
Mhm.
back in 2019, and we talked about the $25,000 rewards that you guys now have for multiple unsolved cases.
Yeah, yes. Right, but right now I have a full-time crime analyst that's working on any cold cases that we have. But any city that you have is going to have cold cases. It's just the larger the city, more cases you're going to have. Right now we're holding 8 cases. And again, I have a crime analyst who works full-time on that. And
what has he shared with you? Because you said the bigger the city, the more cases there's going to be.
Well,
in the last decade, this is a population of about 14,000. I think 2,500 of them are counting the prison population. So what do you think contributes to this sort of crime here, the missing persons, the homicides? What are factors that come into play there?
again, I think we only have 1 missing person at this time and the other are unsolved homicides. But we're a small city, you're right. And we've only had 8 at this time. So if I was in a city of, say, Los Angeles of 4.5 million people, they're probably carrying a couple hundred cold cases right now. So, like this year alone, we've had no homicides at all. So it's just a matter of population and crime.
One more
So,
question from me. Did the parents deny to take a lie detector test?
I can't comment on that.
And would you be able to provide us the 911 call that they made initially?
Can I provide it?
Yeah, the recording of it. I'm sure police have all the recordings.
I'd have to look into that right now with our investigators and see if they want to release that at this point.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Sorry. Last question for me.
It's under the authorities or the foster.
We have it in custody.
Sorry, Chief. Last question for me. Can you confirm, since the beginning of this incident from last week, that there has been nobody detained or arrested during this entire investigation?
There's no one been arrested.
Has anyone been detained?
Well, people have been questioned.
Okay.
Formally detained, no.
And not held in custody upon their own will?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, that's the end of that clip there. Yeah, I said must just play the whole thing. I just want to go from like the past until the present. You got a glimpse of the foster parents, the biological mother, the biological father, the press conference. This Chief Walker, he was on, but he seemed to be resigning or going on. Oh my gosh, I can't even say the word, but I think he's just leaving office. I don't know why, whatever. That's a little bit of a question mark. Even the reporter was asking. I don't know. That's a little bit strange. Okay, I'm going to show another clip. And this clip is, this one here is more up to date of the court case that they had today. Okay. So just give me a second. Jack, you have something to say while I go to the find next one? Or I'll just
it's just obvious that unfortunately these babies were the wrong shade. They would have moved a lot faster.
Okay, let me find the video.
Instantly.
Oh. Okay. We're gonna get into this one. My OBS move faster than this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to show the clip more up to date there when they went to court. Let me take this off. Okay. Let's get it.
Hobman. Trezell and Jackquline West, the adoptive parents of Orrin and Orson West, appeared in court this morning to be arraigned on 2 counts of second-degree murder in a case that's drawn national attention. 23BC's Taylor Levesque was at the arraignment this morning and joins us now in the live center with more on the proceedings. Taylor, what did you learn?
Both Terzell and Jacqueline West both pleaded not guilty to all 5 charges this morning. Judge Chad Louis said, quote, "There is clear and convincing evidence that both defendants are a significant and substantial risk to public safety and set no bail." The judge also granted a request from the prosecution for sealing the probable cause declaration and offense reports. In addition, the prosecution also requested a gag order, which was not granted today. A new hearing has been set for March 8th to discuss that request and allow for comments regarding the sealing of the grand jury documents. The trial is scheduled to begin on May 23rd. We also spoke to a member of the boys' biological family following the hearing. We'll bring you their reaction and more coming up today at 5. In studio, Taylor Levesque, 23 ABC, connecting you.
Plead not guilty. Okay, Jackie, have anything you'd like to say about this?
This is did they find the bodies?
No, they don't have any bodies. That's what I believe the press conference had said. They don't have the bodies. but they can still, prosecute without. And well, I'm going to show another video. Trying to hold my thought here. I'm going to show another video. And this one here is another YouTuber. And I'm going to put the link into the chat. I'm just going to show a glimpse of this YouTuber's video because he said some points. It's two YouTubers that really, they live in the area and they really was following hard on this. I mean, they was just like, this was like they was breathing, eating. They was like, where are the boys? Where are the boys? And there was some things that they said that was kind of interesting. So I'm going to show maybe about like 8 minutes of that clip, and I'm gonna stop and I'll put the link in if y'all want to watch the rest of that his live stream. I really suggest that you watch the rest of it, thumbs it up and everything too. Okay, so give me a second here while I share that one. Okay, let me leave you a little music while I find it. Wait a minute. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I have it here. Okay, let me make sure I put this link in the chat. Okay. Now, I'm going to put the link in the chat and the person's name and stuff. Oh, gosh, I wish I could move fast on here. All right, just listen to this part. I'm not going to play the whole video, but I'm going to start from here. Very interested what these two gentlemen was talking about, because these two gentlemen has been really on the tail with this whole thing about this, the West boys, these little angels. Okay, so I guess, they all in the same area. They met up with each other, so they sharing their little bit of thoughts. And they brought up some stuff that I thought was very interesting. I want to share with y'all. But I'm going to put the link in so you can make sure you check out the rest of these gentlemen's video. I can't get the other gentleman's name, the bald one. I was trying to find. I know I was watching his channel, watch his videos, but I can't remember the name. Maybe y'all could better figure it out. Okay, let's get it.
True, that's we are the monsters.
The adoptive parents were monsters. When you think about it, it appears all they were after was money. There's so much to, think about it. It's been over 14 months that they were reported missing. So actually, it hasn't been 14 months. It's actually been 17, almost 18 months by what the new documentation shows. They state that it occurred somewhere between September 1st and the end of September. Well, information shows that they received their keys September 10th for that home in Cal City on Aspen.
Try to keep up with the story what Matt's telling you guys. It's very important.
So the timelines actually do fit to where they could have been in Cal City. They may not have been in Cal City. But the timeline shows that they, depending on the actual date when it comes out of when it happened, because they did have the keys in the second week of September.
They made this live stream about
an extra,
yesterday?
3 weeks
yesterday
of that location. And another very interesting part that I heard today is we've all been wondering what is happening with that house. The Aspen house in Cal City is not in foreclosure. Somehow the payments are current on that home.
Someone's keeping up with the payments on that house.
Red flag. See, they know more about this because they're there. They really into this. Oh my gosh, I resume.
husband.
Who is keeping up with the payments on that house? Because we know Jacqueline and Trezell do not have the money for it. They have no jobs. They have no income from fostering. His music sucks, so we know he's not making a lot of money on that. I'm sorry, I'm going to be point blank. Some people are going to get mad. But that leads me to wonder, is it the realtor? Is it the individual that loaned him the money? Is it Wanda West and her husband? Is it Jamal? Who is actually paying for that home? Where is it coming for that home?
And you guys remember Wanda West and Jamal, they both stated that they seen the boys on Thanksgiving.
Which means they lied.
You guys remember that, right?
That's not the first time that a lie has came out of that family. You know, think about it. It's been a big cover up since the beginning.
Right.
And it does state, I posted the documentation. I'm sure Steve will post the documentation that we received in regards to the charges through the court. And it states that there was a minor involved in it. Not only does it state that there was a minor involved in it, it states there was other individuals involved. And it was planned out by these individuals.
They were all involved. For Jamal and Wanda to sit there and say they seen him on Thanksgiving was a straight up lie.
You know,
backing him up. Trying to back up the
Okay, ladies, I'm going to pause this here and I'm going to put the link in if y'all want to watch the rest of this video. And try to find, I can't, the bald guy there, I can't remember his channel's name. I don't know why it's not coming from my feed because I know I didn't unsubscribe to him. But you know how YouTube is and everything. But these two gentlemen did a phenomenal job. I mean, they was driven morning.
Yeah, they were the ones knocking on doors and everything, weren't they?
Yes, they was out there. You know what I mean? And these tubers out here got time to sit here and argue, call each other mother effers and all this kind of stuff.
Gossip,
they focusing on that, but they can't worry about these two boys.
Here's the tea.
Yeah, here's the tea. About the tubers. You know, I'm so sick and tired of looking at these darn tubers, these tuber channels and stuff. And then you go in them, their whole channel, they just do them but troll other people's channels. That's what they do. Troll people's channels, talk about other people's tubers. Who's messing with who? Who's this? You know, the divestment, the hate group, and the what the heck is it? What's that group?
Yeah, the one that talked about those young girls you was banging.
Yeah, that one too. I don't understand. A beef sector. What is a beef sector? Why would you want to be a part of a beef sector?
The queen of beef.
You know, these are two little young black boys that was missing. Why y'all could take time out your day to stop and give these kids some exposure? But look at them. These gentlemen right here, they bust their butt every day.
And here's the thing, Don. These are white men that
yes.
put their jobs, their reputations on the line to be because they care about children.
They care. And there's more stuff they said, the stuff that they had to go through behind the scenes. People probably threatening them. You know what I mean? You just don't know, like, oh, mind your business. You don't know what these guys went through, but they went out there. But these people worry about coming to somebody's house, sending a bunch of pizza. Let me dox this person. Let me flag this person. Get a life. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know, they focus on something.
Worry about what a woman does to her body.
Yeah, that's what they worry about. This is crazy. Y'all don't realize some of these, when I be doing these crime stories, the comments that I be getting in here, they be like, oh, why you worried about this person? This is a white person. Oh, worry about your own. It's a human being. I don't do color on my channel. I'm sorry, I don't do it. If you want color, go somewhere else. I don't do it here. I see male, I see female. I see God's children. That's what I see. It's ridiculous. Pisses me off. It really does piss me off. Let me put this link in. Jack, wait a minute. Do I have another video to show? I think that was think that was it. I think that was the let me see. Oh yeah. I have one more. But Jack, you have something to say, and I'm gonna show
I mean,
I'm
I'll
gonna
say
laugh.
this: everyone has their lane.
We begin tonight with the case of
Sorry.
Everyone has their lane, and we understand everybody is not going to do news. You got people that does sports, you got people that does comedy, you got people that does entertainment. Now, those people we ain't talked about. We talking
Correct.
about those who always get in everybody's business,
Exactly.
doctoring people's information.
Yes.
Talking about what they are and not doing, how they raising their
Yes.
children when they're not raising
Yes.
their children. Talk about how they're disrespecting women, but then you got some out there busting windows to snatch their 7-month-old pregnant woman and choke her by the neck, and then want to lie about that. Oh, we don't want to talk about that. But like I said, you got some out there that need to be a little bit careful in what they say on here, because you never know. Somebody maybe come around pulling that paperwork, and you're next on The Price is Right.
Well said. Okay, this is gonna be the last clip that I'm gonna sum it up. I gotta put this link in here, so just give me a second. I'm gonna put the link, and I'll make sure I put in the description of them if you want to see the rest of that video, because I mean they have a little bit more of an insight. And the guy that was the video I just showed, the one with the hat. Well, just to subscribe to his channel. If you're interested about this, really subscribe to his channel and find the bald guy too and subscribe to the channel, because I think the guy with the hat, he went to the courts today. He was there at the courts, and he said something about filling out some paper in the video. He said, I think they said that if he fill out a paper, he could be able to come in there with his camera. So he's going to be able to get some good footage. So I'm going to watch it. All right, big. Oh, Derek, hugs and kisses. Derek's page, hugs and kisses. You know what I mean? So subscribe to those tubers if you're really interested. You follow up about this, because especially the guy with the hat, the one I'm going to give you the link to his channel. And if he's able to, I guess, fill out the paperwork and be able to go in it, that's going to be great. So we can find out exactly what's going to be happening in the courts, because I know I want to follow this, because I feel I said I was going to save my thoughts for later. Let me show this video. Hold a second. All right, the video I'm just going to show you. It's only 3 minutes. Everybody just hanging in. We almost done it. We're gonna have a moment of silence. You've been here all this long. Please don't leave. Okay, just don't leave. I'm sorry I'm keeping you for long, but this is serious. Okay. All right, this is what I'm gonna show the neighbor's reaction. To the parents, neighbors' reaction to the adopted parents' arrest. Let's get it.
With the case of Orrin and Orson West.
Law enforcement believes they now know what happened to the missing West boys and who's responsible. Kern County District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer confirming that there's sufficient circumstantial and direct evidence to believe that Orrin and Orson West were dead 3 months before their adoptive parents, Jacqueline and Terzell West, reported them missing in December 2020. The couple is now booked in jail and charged for 2 counts of second-degree murder, child cruelty, 2 counts of willful cruelty to a child, and a false report of emergency. 23 ABC's Kristen Vartan has more from California City.
I guess I was shocked that there was finally a conclusion, but I didn't really feel like there was a definitive answer.
More than a year later, some questions are finally being answered about the missing toddler brothers Orrin and Orson West. For Paula Thompson, it did not come as a big surprise to her that the people arrested were the adoptive parents Trezell and Jackquline West.
Even my parents say they, in that whatever 6 months they were supposed to be renting that house, they never once saw anybody. And their kitchen window like faces, the back of that house and everything. They're like at the back of the house several times a day. And they never saw anything or any lights on at night or anything.
Paula Thompson's dad and stepmom live right behind this wooden fence. They say they could see right into Jacqueline and Trezell West's old California City home, where the boys were first reported missing. But they say they never saw Orrin or Orson West or any kids here for that matter.
But I did always think that sounded really, really fishy. And even watching the interviews, like when it first happened and everything, like the body language and just, I don't know, they didn't seem emotional at all. They didn't seem distraught.
But neighbor Jorge Cuelapana saw something. during his daytime walk weeks before the boys were reported missing.
And I remember seeing the van they have, I believe they have a white van, that they have backed it up against the door, the front door, completely, like trying to seal the scene so that nobody could see who was getting out, going in the house.
Cuelapana says he's seen kids by the house before, but never the missing West boys. Cuelapana adding that the news that the Wests are being charged with Orrin and Orson's murder came as no surprise to him or other neighbors.
I mean, how two kids can disappear in an hour and 15 minutes? The guy says he came out and started combing the streets for looking for the kids after 40 minutes when he realized that they were not there. I mean, 40 minutes is nothing for a couple of kids. They should be hanging around there.
In California City, Kristen Varton, 23 ABC.
Ladies and gentlemen, I actually didn't see that video. I just had pulled it up earlier. Good question. So they was pushing that van up. I wish I had a picture of the van. I had a picture, but it'll take me a second to find the van. So they pushed it up to the door, you see? And like nobody said, everybody was saying, like, where's the kids? You don't see it. Everybody knows when you have kids, next door neighbor, babies, or whatever, you always hear them. You can tell. Kids make noise. That's just how they are. You can tell them, shh, be quiet, be quiet. Okay, they'll scream. That's just kids. Mm-hmm. And it's so sad when they did all of this. And you know what? I hate to say it, the perfect opportunity was pandemic. Everybody was staying inside. Nobody's around each other. These kids wasn't school age or nothing like that. Hold on, before I get into it. Jack, do you have a closing thought? You have anything to say? Because, I
think I've said pretty much everything that I need to say.
And thank you, Jack, for breaking it down.
I wish they would have found them sooner, but thanks to those guys who been on the job ever since day one, they ought to be the real police officers, not these cops that sit on their ass and do nothing, but collect tax funded salaries. It's insane that we still got to deal with this type of foolishness, even though we have advanced as a human with technology. We still doing primitive behavior, just at a higher level. And like I said, respect to those guys who were out for them for day one, while the police were sitting on their hands and the foster parents were lying their behinds off. It's insane. That's all I gotta say. I'm trying to reserve myself from yelling, cursing.
I know this pee you off because when this happened, when I did it, and what was the first thing I did? Contact Jack's like, oh, you got to bring this on your platform. Oh, this is insane. What's happening? And as quick he did immediately, and with that channel got taken down, and you did excellent commentary on it too. It's just it really just it bothers me how the stuff that these people talk about. But hey, I already had to say what to say about that. Here's the link in the chat with the two gentlemen of the video. So press that link. Like I said, the guy that was bald, I don't really know the name of his channel, but it won't be too hard to find because them two. And there was a couple other tubers too that was strong on the case too. So let me not knock it. And you know what? I'm gonna do color. It was all white people. All of them. They was hard on it. Plenty of people did commentary. And it's just so sad. Just so sad. But everybody want to be the part of the beef sector. The beef sector. I think it's a beef sector. Hello? I just stay in my lane. All right. But to sum up everything, I just want to say is I from day one, I felt that these boys, something happened to them. I felt that the parents was lying. I've always felt from day one that those boys never went to California City. I forgot the place that they was living at before they moved over there. I think something happened over there. And when they came here, it was the holiday time. They had to come up with some sort of excuse. And the reason why they was able to get away with this is because due to the fact it was a pandemic, we have a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. You don't have to put them in preschool, so they're not ages to go to kindergarten. Because when you go to school, teacher's going to be like, where's little Johnny? Johnny has not been in school. So cops will come knocking at your house. They'll investigate. So no, they didn't have that. That didn't happen. Okay. And I couldn't understand why they have two biological kids, these monsters here. Let me put a picture. We have these monsters here. They have two biological kids. And I'm like, okay, well, everybody goes on vacation, but why they didn't go? It just didn't add up. I said, well, why these other kids didn't go with them? But they stay along. And my question was always, I said, well, I think people need to ask this. I know they had to, but I was like, ask the kids, when was the last time you seen Orrin and Orson? That'll let you know right there. Now they saying something about, don't quote me my words, you have to look it up, but that possibility that the other kids knew about and they probably was scared that they killed the kids and they were scared to tell anything. And I think one of the kids have special needs. I don't know if it's their kids or the other adopted kids. One of them has special needs, and that they trying to pin the crime on the special need kid. I don't know. It's just such a mess. But just stay tuned. When the courts come out, everything is going to come out. And I think the reason why they didn't want to give out much information because you want everything to be solid. You want to make sure these Satan Jr. and Satan's daughter don't get loose and there'll be a lawsuit and all this kind of stuff. They want to make sure it's solid, and these two monsters will go to jail for life. They did something to these kids, and then with the other guy, what I was showing the video, if something was interesting, think about it, who's keeping the payments of this house? That's a very good question. Who's keeping the payments? That's something that needs to be investigated. Okay. I guess that's about it. Let me go through the last what the comments is. But so far, some sort of, justice is being done. So that's a good thing. What's sad is, where are these two angels? But the way that district attorney was talking, you know what I'm trying to say. Two angels. And, they didn't ask to be born. They didn't ask to choose their parents. I blame the biological mother. Yes, I do. I blame the biological father, the dusty father, and the dust stepmother. They talking all this crap onto to the reporters. But why you didn't have your kids? It's not that easy to take kids out of your home.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna sue the city and they're gonna get paid millions of dollars.
Yeah, I heard that. I think the father's out here trying to sue. You see, y'all listen to this. You see, I heard something that the father he's about out here. He's trying to sue. Mr. Dusty think he's gonna get paid. This is sad. These kids wasn't wanted from the day they was born. And then the biological mother has other kids, but they with her. This is what I'm hearing. I mean, all this is allegedly. So they good enough to stay with you, but Orrin and Orson wasn't. What a shame. What a shame. This is really sad. And I will follow up on this and hope with the court. Like I said, please subscribe to that guy's channel because he has some great insight. Those two men actually were shown surveillance videos from the neighbor's home cam. Yeah, I remember seeing that, Nikki. Yes, Nikki, I did. I remember seeing that. Because I was following them. I was staying up late just listening because I was like, this is crazy. The home cam did not show anything the foster parents had said happened. Yeah, it was all lies. You can look at their body language. Where's her tears? Just like the biological mother. Where's the tears? Biological mother rubbing her eyes and everything, but I don't see nothing coming out. There isn't any wood out there. It's nothing out there, Nikki. Nothing but dust, sand. That's it. And first of all, little kids that age, they don't really want to go too far away from mommy and daddy. You just said you moved to a new area. They scared. They don't know this area. They're not going to go so far. Oh, BS. Yep, no bodies. All right, what else Nikki said? Great suggestion that I asked the other children. Yeah, that was the first thing came to my mind was ask the children. There's other children. There's other kids? Oh, they're not around? Well, let's ask them. When was the last time they seen them? That gives you a pinpoint right there. Now I understand why. They did ask. No bodies. All right, what else Nikki said? They haven't been found. No. Dome says, if the mom had a whip and a house, why she wasn't raising them? My only question. Exactly. You heard her, right, Dome? She said, oh, I have this, I have that. I just want my babies back. I just want my babies back. Why were they able to adopt them? They wasn't even foster care. These parents adopt them. They do not want to give the kids to anybody else. They want to keep the kids in the family. If a mother only got 2 darn pennies in her pocket and she says she want to keep her kids, do you know how much service she would get? She'll get money, she'll get a home, and she'll get some food for those children, and free childcare, and education so she can get on her feet. I know they do that in New York. I don't know. I'm assuming other states too. Get out of here. You just didn't want them. Oh, wait a minute. What Yeah, we'll answer that one now. What else Nikki said? I would also say investigate the owners. Yeah, now I'm glad you brought that up because Nikki, there was something that was said that the person that sold them the house, I can't remember what video it was, and there was a news clip I wanted to find, but I didn't have enough time. But the owner, don't quote me on what I'm saying, but just a little bit what I have is the person that was selling them the house said that they felt that they was a little bit weird. She felt it was like unsettling about them. They didn't have no kids. She didn't see any kids or nothing. She was like, You're like, where's the kids? No kids. And she said that they all paid with cash. She thought that was a little weird, but hey, she just went through with the sale. See, right there from the beginning, everybody could tell that it was something weird about this family. And who's paying that money for that house? Where are you getting that money from? You ain't getting no foster care check, adoption checks, or whatever, how it goes. No, this is ridiculous. Thank you for the purple hearts, everybody. All right. What Nikki said. Nikki just said, I don't think the father was informed of the adoption. But how was that possible? Nikki, that's what he did say something like, but how was that possible? They ask you who is the father.
Donna, actually, there is some truth to that sometimes.
Okay, explain. Like how is that possible, Jack? Do you see who the father is? Let's different states, different laws. In New York, they ain't having it.
Well, yeah, you're right. If it's different states, different laws. But in some cases, some states, they don't have to inform the father that the children are being adopted.
If the father is in the picture and the father is supposed to be paying something, some sort of child support.
Now, if the father was actively, financially, or emotionally caring for the children, then he would have gotten the paperwork.
Oh, because he gave up all rights to the kids. He said he didn't want to be bothered. Yeah, now he sounds more like a Dusty. Thank you for explaining that one, Jack. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, really, Nikki. Yeah, BG. Okay, what else we have here? I think the original mom sold them to Trezell. You never know. Everything's gonna come out in this court, Nikki. Ooh, I'm gonna follow it. It's gonna come out. Ooh, it's gonna get ugly.
Nikki said, Jack, I think the mom lied to adoption agency. That probably is true.
What do you mean? Lied to adoption agency about the father?
About the father not being there or non-existent.
Well, you saw we just going about the little clip and everything. He sounded like he had to know about the kids and the kids was with her. He said he just was surprised. I don't know. It's just everything just seemed fishy. Look at him. Just look at him. Dusty. Now you want to sue. Why you wasn't trying to sue? Okay. Let's say that did happen, Jack. Okay? Work with me. Let's say that did happen. He didn't know. You telling me he can't go up there and fight and say, hold up, these are my kids. I want my kids. He said his kids is his life. Isn't that what he said? He couldn't go over there and fight them, but they're going to tell him, well, no, sir, it's too late. Yeah. Absolutely not. And I say that for every state. If that was his kids, and let's say he didn't know the kids, she got rid of kids, and he found out later, he can get those kids back.
Yeah, usually in situations, if the mother is unable, they will try to contact the father. And I don't know what his position was, or if he was in a situation that, I don't know. I don't know what their situation were. Obviously, they took the kids away for a particular reason.
In Bakersfield, the neighbor said that they were weird too and kept the children in the house. Red flag.
That
red
is
flag.
true because they did move around a lot.
Mm-hmm. Jack, I think the mom lied about adoption. Yeah, okay, we said that one. Okay. Most families, they don't take a child means that they don't want them. Okay, well, Nikki said, I don't think that he gave up his rights. I don't think so either. I don't think so. And let's say it did slip through. She was trifling B and she got away with, get rid of kids with him. Some women are spiteful. They want to hurt the man. They like, oh, forget you. I'm going to take the kids away because I know you care about the kids more than me. You won't put a ring on me, so you won't see the kids. Yeah, there's a lot of trifling women out here. But he could turn around and fight back. Yes, he can. Yes, he
Yeah,
can.
but
Men got some
you're
power
right.
out here.
You're right, Donna. But the resources are not accessible to him compared to a woman.
Oh well, if he can get, if he don't have much money, he can get a legal aid attorney.
Well,
They might
yeah
not be
and
the
no.
greatest,
Yeah,
but he can get.
I'm being honest with you. Yeah
All
and
right,
no.
go ahead.
Because when it comes to children, most cases they get a pro bono attorney, which
And
means
the
they're
man
good
could
for the
get one
state.
too.
But
Well, I
well,
guess
not in most cases.
California different.
Not when it comes to not to the non-custodial parent. No, that's not
Oh
always the
well,
case.
in the state of
Most
New York,
cases,
you have to get a
I know
lawyer.
you're talking about New York. I'm talking about the whole country. Most cases, the father has to hire his own attorney.
So you telling me for custody, she could get a lawyer? They both broke, both low income. She can get a lawyer, but the judge is gonna sit there and not let him get a lawyer because he don't have no money. So he just
That's
asked
how
out.
the family court works.
Well,
Unfortunately.
that's really messed up. You know what, people? You need to know the laws of your state before you move there. Yeah, check that out too. But that's crap. The father said he found out that they was adopted in the news. That's right. Okay, what else we got? Nikki said play the clip again. Which clip you want me to play again? Nikki, tell me. I'll play it. Put in there the clip with the father. That's what you're saying? Okay, because that wasn't a long one. That's what he said. Put in there. The wife will roll over on Trezell. Ooh, yeah, I think she gonna spill the beans. Okay, they all are Yeah, every one of them is trifling. And what else we got? I hope the wife does roll over. Okay, what else we got? The men get the with the one though. Okay. They do not support the father at all. And fathers speak up. They want their kid. They get some support. She will tell it all. All right, women have resources. Yes, they do. And that's what I'm saying. There's no way that she could say she couldn't be able to take care of those kids or whatever. Now she got all this money and stuff like that. They would have gave her back her kids. I mean, you don't have to have like she ain't got to be a millionaire to get the kids back, but they'll send them back. There's no way they would have gave those kids for adoption. All right. They don't. All right, Nikki, you want to say what video or you don't want me to show? You change your mind. Okay. Let me know there. But this is just really sad. All right. What else? BG said. BG said she'll say she was scared of him. Oh yeah, she's gonna cry that one.
He
But
better
I want to find
first.
out. I want to find out more about them accusing the kids. That's very interesting. How I think they was one point. I could be wrong. I have to look it up because like I said, I was trying to get as much stuff I can for this live stream. But somewhere that they was I guess trying to say one of the kids hurt the kids, might have killed the kids. You got some trifling parents and put the blame on the children, and one of them have special need. I don't know the whole story, so please don't quote me on this, everybody. Everything's allegedly, but it will all come out in the court. The baby's leg was broken. Yeah, it was something about when the child was with the mother. I think the biological mother. Is that what you mean, Nikki? And the child got hurt. All right, you said of the father. Okay, let me all right, y'all just give me a second here. Let me share the screen. I'll show the father. I'll play you some music so you can unwind to. All right. The father. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna show the clip with the father again. All right, maybe something we missed. Let's get it here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it.
Story you'll only see here on 17 News. The biological father of brothers Orson and Orrin West is talking publicly for the first time since the boys were reported missing 10 months ago by their adoptive parents in California City. 17's Christian Galeno has more.
Another month and still no answers as to the whereabouts of Orson and Orrin West. But the boys' biological family is still holding out hope they'll be found safe.
So I don't want my kids to be deceased. I want them to come back home because my kids is all I got. After my parents go, it's just me and my kids.
Charles Pettis is the biological father of Orrin and Orson, whose birth names were Classic and Sincere. The boys were removed from their biological mother's home by Child Protective Services and adopted by Trezell and Jacqueline West in September of 2020.
I was going through family members' phones and they were showing it and we watched the news and that's how we found out. We didn't even know that they sent them out to some different people.
The West reported Orrin and Orson missing from their California City home 3 months later on December 21st. Since then, the boys' biological family has held monthly prayer vigils and conducted their own searches, but no sign of the boys. The Bakersfield Police Department, which took over the investigation 7 months ago, insists it's not a cold case.
I want no one to think that it's a cold case because when you get up, when it get quiet, it's like nobody think about them no more. But we're gonna keep going until I'm gonna keep going until God called me home, or I just can't, So I'm here to the end.
Pettis, who lost another child in an accident, he's remaining hopeful he will see his sons again.
Because they took my family, they took my life away from me. My kids is my life. No matter how long it take, how hard it's gonna be, I won't give up. I will never give up.
In Bakersfield, Christian Galeno, 17.
I hear what you're saying, Nikki, that he didn't know, but I'm just trying to figure out why did they even get caught up in the system? That these are kids is his life. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Everything is going fast. He didn't know. But why did they even get caught up in the system? And if they did, he can say, hey, this is all my opinions. I could be completely wrong. Every state is different. Hey, these are my boys. Oh, no. I want my boys. They can't be nowhere else. That's why I didn't get them. He says your life. I'm just saying. They had previous foster mom who's good to them. Well, as Nikki said, wow, another child of his died. Yeah, you heard that part, right? That's sad. Yeah, I don't know. We don't know. It's just this stuff just don't add up. And I always feel in life when something doesn't make sense, ladies and gentlemen, it's not true. This is not true. Okay, I held y'all here for way over 2 hours, and thank you for coming here. Jack, have anything last thought? Because I'm gonna close it out with a moment of silence for the angels.
I don't have anything else to add. I'm glad that you did this update on those children.
And
I
thank you
think a
for
lot of us
co-hosting.
appreciate the work that you have done as far as being very passionate about these two boys. And I got much respect for you for that. Somebody's going to do it, and that's you. Unlike some other people, that's on them. They can do whatever they want to do, but I think this is an important stream that everyone needs to repeat and listen over and over again. Did a great job doing investigative reporting as well as get down to the science of it. So I think everyone should give Purple Hearts based on that.
Thank you, Jack. And thank you, Jack. When I contacted you, was immediately on your channel. You was like, oh, let's get into it. Because you was like, you didn't hear about it either. And you reported it too. So thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. And anybody here who has channels, if do a little video to bring it out, bring a little bit of awareness, because you never know who is going to reach to that might doesn't know about this. You know, they need to get coverage too, just like Gabby and Brian. You know, yes. It's just so sad. So, you know, prayer to the boys, and thank you everybody for being here for hours with me. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Don't worry, you won't hear from me until next week. Okay. Monday. That'll be it. Okay. Hear from me Monday. All right. So everybody have themselves a blessed night and a safe night. And we're gonna have let me just do a prayer here for the boys, and then I'm gonna have a moment of silence. Emmanuel. All right. And like I said, please get that guy's link and subscribe to the channel, because he's gonna really be a follower to it. Him and the other guy, if you can find the other guy. Well, it should be hard to find the other guy. And like I said, there was other tubers too. I just came with them. I just can't remember all the other tubers that was following on the case too, that make videos, and they was hard on it, and they was just praying and praying and praying for these two angels. See, it went up to 120,000. You know what, biological parents? You might didn't want them. You might didn't care about them. Adopted parents, you might have thought they was nothing but just money to you. But there was a lot of people in the world that felt that they was important and loved them. And that's why they put all that money, and people were searching. And I know every one of y'all felt stupid to see how much love and how much people care, because you never know who cares for who. Y'all trifling low lifes. Piece of crap. All right, let's get into the prayer. Our Father, we love you with all our hearts. Bless everybody in the chat. Bless everybody who's watching replay. And, you know, God, may justice be done. May everything comes out in the court. May the judge does the right things, the lawyers do the right things, the jury do the right things, and these people be thrown under the jail. And whoever helped them be thrown under the jail. Everything comes out. You know, and hopefully, you know, this will stop this from happening to other kids, because I really do feel in my heart this is a bigger picture that we don't even know about. I think this is going to open up a can of worms, and I hope it does, to other children. We love you. We adore you. We need you. You are everything to us, Lord. Everything. Amen. Moment of silence.